Hey everyone! Welcome to the Metal Galaxy YouTube channel, where we bring reviews, interviews, the metal news and much more into your living room. Subscribe and like, as we have regularly new content, and this time we are going to review another symphonic metal band, another iconic symphonic metal band, one that had a few changes, Delain. And it will be a very special review actually for me, because Delain is the very band I grew up with, specifically the album Lucidity, and was one of my first ever gigs I went to as well. So let's see if seeing them for a third time in different lineup, if I had the same experience, what my thoughts were. And yeah, let's tune in and grab your booze. And special thanks as well to the late management for arranging everything. Thank you so much. So yeah, let's talk now about Delain and as well their new EP Dance with the Devil. So let's kick off first with Dance the Devil, the EP that was released I think this year, shortly before tour here in Ireland. And it's a very odd EP, I would say, because there are 14 tracks and it consists of 2 new brand songs, 2 new interpretations, and the rest are live performances. And I believe in a way it's worth attention to get lost, because there are so many songs and it sounds so different in a way, because there's a new singer, Diana, and she's as well kind of different singer, because instead of going for a symphonic or a Dutch person, Martijn went into a very different direction. So he hired Diana from Romania, if I'm not mistaken, to be the lead singer of, and as a result, it's a bit too much, I would say, Dance to Devil, because you need to get used to the new sound of Delay. Of course, you had Dark Waters, but I think a lot of people, at least me, are not in the stage yet to listen a lot of Delain in this new lineup. You need to get used to it, like to say, because the very album is very dancey, very modern, very synth, whereas the older Delay is very more symphonic. So it's a whole different style of singing and performing as well. So yeah, so I listened beforehand Dance Devil, and I really liked the song Dance with the Devil, because it's a great dance song. But then I found it hard to judge the other ones, because there is so much happening in this album. You have the original songs being different and so on. And I must say, yeah, it's hard for me to recognize the song. So it's a nice dancey album, but it doesn't feel 100%. And I believe it's great strategy for the band to evolve, because we are not the same for 2 decades. We change, and it's fresh to try out and be not afraid to break boundaries. But of having 14 songs, I think it's a bit too much, especially if you have call an EP, you would expect an EP. And as well, there is a specific distinct artwork, so I feel there's a bit of misalignment. So I would say it's a great one. If you really like the new Delain style, go for it. It's a great one. But I would say myself, it would have been better, I would say, to just release an EP where new listeners, old listeners can really taste the new Delain, and then the song Dance with the Devil would be, I think, stronger, because now it's compared to older material. So yeah, I would say the album could have a bit more consistency. And actually, let's go to the gig, which was an interesting experience as well, because you had the very fan favorite songs from Lucidity, as well as April Rain, and then you had songs from the newer albums, Dark Waters and Dance with the Devil. So these were the two new releases, and I must say I didn't fully, yeah, it's hard to say how I felt about this gig, because on the other hand I was like, yes, I know this song, this is so familiar. And then you have Dance with the Devil, it's such a nice song to dance with. But then in other songs, and exactly I think what was as well with the EP, some are a bit weaker to songs, and they don't have this punch as the older Delain songs. So for me it was hard to really engage with some of the songs. And what makes it harder is that Diana is a great vocalist, I would say, but she's coming from a different whole environment. She's not metal, I believe, as we are. She doesn't have this headbanging, she doesn't have this doing with the horns, with being very engaging, old school. It's a way different performance, and actually also different than Charlotte, as she was much more old school, much more headbanging. And it's a great thing, I would say, to try something new. But I feel like Diana still needs to find her footing in the metal world. She needs to discover herself of what it is being a metalhead and how to engage with the audience. But I would say for the gig I saw, I really loved the way she really communicated with the audience. And she has something else, so in a way it breaks from tradition, and as well it platters something entirely new. And I'm excited to see her like in 5, 10 of or 1 decade and see what she's done with it, because I believe Diana has the capacity, has the talent, as well as the right engagement to get there. But right now I feel that there is still a lot work to be done. And as well, and this is the same for the songs, they're really great. They have this catchy, but they don't have this catchy vibes as some dance bands have, like Dynasty. So yeah. And then as well, I think one aspect that the band came really stronger out of all this is the way how they represent themselves when they came on stage. I was really impressed by the keyboard, by it looked so modern, so since so it really fitted into the whole new Delain concept, as well as the backdrop was a red devil reflecting Dance with the Devil. So it was really nice, and the way they dressed, it really fitted the song because it was red, black, it was stylish and so on. So I believe the concept wise it's very strong, and maybe that's why I'm a bit harsh on the music side, is because they were so excellent presented. And then at the end of the gig there was confetti as well. They greatly closed it off with red confetti, making it memorable. So yeah, that was great. And oh yeah, and the last thing that I found a bit odd at the band is as well, like Sander was recalling the old times of Delay, and I really love that the band is now engaging much more. It's not only the lead singer, it's now the guitarist as well. The only thing that I found a pity was that Martijn himself was not recalling on old times. He didn't give his microphone, as he's basically the founder, and it felt for me very odd for a guitarist that haven't been for a long time in the band of recalling the good old times of Delain and doing this story. So for me it was a bit of alienation there, but as well the support on the night. And actually another thing that Delain did very well was the support on the night. On the night you had Wilson, and I believe it was a very great strategy, because Damien Wilson is more like a performer. He has a great beautiful voice, and he's so funny. He was throwing coins to the people, like chocolate coins, you could eat them. So it was a delicious thing he did. But then as well, he greatly interacted with the audience, so he really warmed up everyone. Great opener. And then to another one, Stone Unbroken. I love them because they have this melodic rock sound, so they slowly set you up for Delain. And yeah, definitely. In short, Delain, Dark Waters Island, UK was definitely one to go, despite that there was a bit of oddness there in the music, the way they interacted. I believe they have like something gold in there that needs to be explored and adapted more, because I'm comparing to the Delain that has just 2 releases with the new lineup versus the old Delain with 2 decades, I believe, experience as a band, and I feel they have some growth to do to get back to this level, as basically they need to rediscover the way they interact, do the vocals. Maybe there will be some more experimentation from the end, and maybe she will bring some more trends, who knows. And yeah, in general, I really loved it because there was a nostalgia feeling, but there is as well a way to get used to the new music. But I'm very positive and excited that Lane will be the next big thing happening in a few years back, when they have found their footing, when they are think as well that the audience is ready for a new Delain. You saw Attack Academy that a lot of people were really engaging, inclusive myself, and I believe the next album will be much more tighter, there will be more engagement, and yet they will certainly find their footing, I believe, and they will have a top chart album soon, I believe. So yeah, thank you, see you next time.